and we'll fly.
Good evening and welcome to the 12th and final round of the BSR Kia Cup series. My name is Conrad Venter and I'll be your cameraman and commentator tonight. And we're at Silverstone National Circuit for this final race meeting of the series. And we've only got just over a minute in qualifying to go. So we'll jump straight into the action and have a little look at the driver standings as it is at the moment. Leading the way is Stelian Chipalewski with 2,355 points, with Diego Malro in second place on 2,139. Third place is Robert Plumley, Maciek Sakovic in fourth, Stephen Baxter in fifth with 1,901. And a bit of a battle still going on for third place in the championship. Sixth place Ben Hackerson, Kip Stevens in seventh, Adam McNally in eighth. Tristan Bottas in 9th place with 1,586 and only 5 points behind him in 10th place, Adam Delmont. Looking at the AM standings, Adam McNally leading the way there for Youth Energy on 1,642. Jamie is in second place with 1,403. Cesaro Reza in third place with 1,041. Stephen Minton in fourth. Dave Crozier in fifth. Jason Greenfield in sixth. Helgerson in seventh, Heckling eighth, Wakefield in ninth, and Lee Ballmer in 10th place on 476. And just a quick look at the team standings. Discovery in the lead there, and pretty much sewn up the championship. Pro Sim Racing in second, Youth Energy in third, Team Mad in fourth, Radical Racing in fifth place, GBR in sixth, Team Automech in seventh, Bermuda in eighth. And Engine Oil there still to score a point. Right, let's have a look at the grid as qualifying is coming to an end. Still a few cars out there. Just have a look. I think Stephen Baxter looks like he's still on the lap. It's not a track that I think I've used this track once or twice before in a hosted session. Not something that regularly pops up in the official series. Tristan Bottas coming through final corner. He's on his way into the pits. Chipalewski doesn't look like he's going anywhere either. Let's have a look. Stephen Baxter, he looks like he's going full pelt. It's still on the qualifying lap, getting a bit sideways. Looking where he is on the track, he might well be doing a bit of racing practice. He's sitting in fourth place at the moment. Just going through bridge into the final few corners. Hopefully he's still on the qualifying lap. See if he can improve on his time. Next person up the road from him in third place, Daniel Kraft, about 2.5 tenths. But Baxter would have to improve to get further up the grid. And he's literally the only person still out there. Chipalewski, he's coming back into the pits. I think that is our lot. Right, let's have a quick look at the starting grid for you. Taking pole positions, Diego Malro with a 124.1. Stelian Chapelevsky in second, Daniel Croft in third, Stephen Baxter in fourth. Fifth is Lewis Bibby, Peter Van Gool in sixth place. Very good qualifying session for him, considering the season he's had. Max Wright in seventh, Jamie is in eighth. Ninth is Tristan Bottas. 10th is Helgeson, Adam Delmont in 11th, Magic Zakovic in 12th place. Jason Greenfield in 13th, Jurg Dankert in 14th, Lee Bowman 15th. And I'm not entirely sure whether Josh Thompson and Ben Gregory has joined us. But Stephen McFadden 18th. And then we have Adam Delmont in 19th, Rizzo in 20th. And Barry in 21st. Right, engines are going.
Green, green, green.
Good start by the two Discovery cars up at the front of the grid. Coming through turn one. Everything looks really good. Malro still in the lead there. Coming through the first section, Maggots. On the first part of the straight, just having a little look back, Josh Thompson didn't take to the start. All line astern, was that at the back, running a little bit wide onto the grass. Very clean first lap so far. Danker just looks like he's dropped back a little bit. We haven't seen all that much of him through the season. First time they come through bridge, and it just looks like Melro and Chapelevsky have just pulled a little bit of a gap. They might be looking to work together a little bit, see if they can pull a little gap on Daniel Croft at the back. Over the start finish line for the first time they come. Chapelevsky taking a little shortcut through the bollards there. He's going to look up the inside, taking the lead from Melro. And joining in the commentary box, Mr. Alex Simpson. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Conrad. I'll be in the booth with you in just a second.
Oh, it's good to have you back with us for. We haven't seen each other for a little while, or spoken to each other for a little while in the commentary box.
No, I know. I think the last time was one of the Porsche races, wasn't it? So, you good?
Yeah, we just a couple of, or on the second lap of the first race, and we've got the Discovery boys slugging it out at the front, and it is the two leaders in the championship, incidentally as well, Stelian Chapelevsky and Diego Malro. Obviously, there's no team orders for tonight, as the team championship is pretty much sewn up, and by all accounts, Chapelevsky have taken the drivers' championship as well. So it's all guns out tonight.
Personal pride, then. Winner takes all in the last race, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. But their battling is allowing Daniel Croft and Stephen Baxter to join the party as they go side by side over the start-finish line once again. Going into turn one. And yeah, at the moment we just have Daniel Croft and Stephen Baxter patiently sitting behind the two of them, having a little look. I can't imagine that's going to last for too long.
Kraft is probably going to size them up, so. The Silverstone, the international circuit, obviously sort of sits in the middle, doesn't it? No, not quite as short as the national, but not quite as long as the sort of the international layout. Good, nice little circuit, and plenty of opportunities to overtake as well. So, I'm sure that when the timing's right, Kraft will go for a move.
Yeah, we just had a little bit of contact between the two front-running cars, the Discovery cars. But again, Stephen Baxter has decided he's had enough. He's having a look up the inside of Daniel Croft. He is trying to stick him into 4th place. Looks like Baxter's got to move down now. Stephen Baxter, he's not one to sit back and have a look and sizing people up. He will go for it if the opportunity is there.
Stephen's still a fairly new one to the car and the series as well, so just sort of finding his place. Really joined, didn't he, for the sort of BSR TC. Has done well in this series as well, so just trying to get as much sort of Kia running in as he can and showing that he can run up the at the front there.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, he ran the Club 73 series as well. Did really well in that particular series. Although the King of the Ring event around the Nordschleife didn't go too well. Multiple trips into the wall, into the pits. But just looking a little bit further down the back, we've got a big battle going on between Benjamin Gregory, Magic Sakovic and Max Wright. There are 4 or 5 cars running together there. And the teammate seems to have, well, how can I put this, team up tonight. We've got the 2 Team Mad cars running together. Just behind them we've got the 2 Team Automech cars running together. It's really just the Youth Energy guys that have decided they're not going to stick all the eggs in one basket. They're going to split it up a little bit and cover the front, the middle and the back of the grid. Coming back towards the front, Melro is still in the lead. He's got 0.4 of a second to Chepelevsky, 0.2 further back Stephen Baxter, then Daniel Croft just behind him. And while they are slugging it out, Lewis Bibby is slowly but surely making his way up to that leading pack as well. He's currently in 5th place. Just coming up, just under 9 minutes to go. We'll have a quick look at the run of things. The top 8 there for you. Diego Mauro leading the way, still in Chepelevsky in 2nd. Stephen Baxter up and back up into 3rd. Azim and Daniel Croft are battling away yet again. Lewis Bibby in 5th, Peter Van Gool in 6th place, Tristan Bottas in 7th, and Adam Delmont in 9th place. And it's also good to see we've had a fairly decent sized grid for this evening, considering it is the final round. We missed last week, of course.
Yeah, it was a shame with the bug, wasn't it, that caused all the issues. But yeah, 20 cars out there, so yeah, anything when you get 20 cars is a reasonable good. And is that Baxter having a little? Sorry, it's Kraft, isn't it? Having a little look on Baxter.
Yeah, well, they've been slugging it out now for the last 2 laps, and that's allowed the 2 Discovery cars to pull away, and it's also allowed Lewis Bibby to pull up right to the back of them. Peter Van Gool is going to join them in not too distant future.
Yeah, that whole pack actually closing in on the leaders, and Baxter having to go side by side. What's that contact further up?
Contact
ahead?
for the lead.
With the leaders.
Yeah.
Oh
dear. Right, let's have a little replay and have a look back at that. See exactly what happened there. We just caught the back end of it.
The strange one, Chippy just late on the brakes, and Melro, I wouldn't have thought, just looked like he was turning in normally, and just the slightest of contact, but just on the wrong place of the car, and just caused Melro to spit over to the left there into the wall. He's got substantial damage on the front left of that car as well, so looks like he might be able to continue. Chippy slowed down, and I think that was to let Melro go back through, so good sportsmanship from Stellion there, but they're going to continue their battle. But I have to say, I think Melro's at a bit of a disadvantage at this point with the damaged car.
Yeah, I think things might get a little bit frosty in that TeamSpeak channel right now. He's not going to be too happy with his teammate. This is not the first time we've seen it either. When was I think it was the final round around Le Mans and the BSR MX-5, or was it the Winter Series, where a couple of Apex Racing UK cars coming together. I think
Katz, wasn't it? Yeah,
I think it was Chepelevsky involved in that one as well.
It might have been Chippy and Katz, I think.
Oh dear.
You remember that one? Baxter to the lead then. So any move that Kraft puts on now, just 0.2 of a second behind, will get him to the front. Not got long left to this race, so yeah, time. I'm not sure it's time to go for it right now. There's nothing between these guys in lap time, so you have to feel like if Kraft was to get by, Baxter's going to be able to hold on to him. So maybe a late move, last couple of laps or something like that. Give yourself minimal time to defend as he goes to the outside. Force Baxter to cover off the inside as we come back onto the GP circuit.
Like I say, Daniel Kraft, if he's one that doesn't necessarily always go for the first move he sees an opportunity for, and just sits back and sizes up the car in front of him a little bit, then it's got about 5 minutes to suss Steven Baxter out, decide where he's going to pull his move, and hopefully make it stick from there from his point of view.
He'd be desperate to get on the back of these guys as well. If he can get close enough when they start to attack, could of course perhaps get the run on both of them at the same time, who knows, but has a little blink there and just makes me think for a moment it's all gone pear-shaped, but no, still in there. And yeah, that last lap, did he close in? He did. He closed in about 0.4 of a second, so yeah, just needs to work that draft in a couple of laps, see if he can get, you know, within 3/4 of these guys, as Kraft looks like he might be trying a move right now up the inside. Gonna switch to the outside and clean through actually, because just I think lets him almost have it. Oh, as Bibby comes in there, almost out of control, just avoids hitting the rear of Baxter there, but all three continue.
And these 3 or 4 cars at the back has managed to pull a very sizable gap to the cars behind them. Tristan Bottas, 5.5 seconds behind the leaders, and then the next person, 6th place, is Sakovic, and him and Stuart McFadden is really running just over 9 seconds behind the leaders. So there might have been quite a bit of action back there, which we might have missed. But at the front, these guys have been at it pretty much right from the start. Just have a little quick look back. Max Wright in 10th position. He's around him is Adam Delmont and Adam McNally.
Oh, as who was that? Was that McLeod just having a little look? Was it?
Well, he's having another little look, giving Delmont a little bump through the final corners. Little youth energy sandwich there for Max Wright. And as always, from the previous couple of rounds that I've covered, to get these youth energy guys in the same piece of track, that's always a dangerous business. They tend to get together quite a bit as well. I think where was it, Zolder, that we covered, and in one of the races, all 3 of them managed to make contact with each other on the final lap, coming out of the final corner.
It was pretty dirty out there as well. A lot of gravel just sort of being kicked up, even on the racing line. So
that's something that's quite a big feature we've seen of the latest big update from iRacing. It's all the gravel. And it's particular to the circuits where, as Max Wright gives Delmont another little smack up the bum. But yeah, anyway, it's on tracks where we have less grass and more gravel, as we see them coming just through bridge now. All that gravel seems to make its way onto the track. I haven't quite figured out yet whether or not it makes a real big difference to the grip on the track. Oh, as Max Wright turns Delmont sideways, that's allowed McNally to come through. He's going to put his teammate under pressure now as they make it a threesome coming over the start-finish line. It's going to make it an interesting run down into turn 1. Max Wright's fallen back.
yeah, Wright just had a big old chunk of him there, didn't he? And another little nudge. He's not afraid to use the bumper, is he?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Do they have a incident limit in this particular series?
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure actually on what the limit is. I'm sure they do, just like the Pro Series, but I just don't think it's quite so severe. So, and you've got to remember the Kia. The Kia's pretty handy. You can have a bit of a wallop and only get a 0x. We have to really give it something to get a 4.
yeah, something I discovered on Thursday night with the BSR Porsche Cup is that's got an incident limit as well. Luckily for myself, that first race we did was just for a little bit of fun, so it didn't cost me anything. But yeah, taking 2 car contacts on the first lap when you've got 18 laps around Brands Hatch India isn't a great idea.
Must be getting close to the checkered flag, or the white flag at least. I think anytime soon. As up front, it's getting pretty tasty again, Conrad. And Baxter has a little look into Copse. Can't make anything happen this time. It's kind of hampered his run. He was as close as he's ever been. So going into Beckett's and Maggots, he can't get anything done there. He's going to have to close back up. And Bibby's right with these guys now as well. So any one of these cars, I think, has got an opportunity to win this one as the cones get sent flying once again.
Yeah, we've just run. The clock has ticked down to 0. This should be the final lap. And it looks like Kraft has got a big enough lead coming into this final section as they come back onto the GP track in order to hold on here for the win.
Yeah, good exit from Baxter, but just a little bit too far back. That moving Copse actually really killed him. So he sort of tried to commit to it, but fortunately left him vulnerable to lose a whole load of time. Maybe a move into Brooklands. It will have to be a very late, desperate one if it's going to happen. Closes up under braking. Bibby drops back. Maybe something through Luffield. Nope, too far back. Kraft's lines nice and smooth and consistent. Gets that slightly wider line, which means he can get on the power just a little bit earlier than Baxter and does, and he's definitely home and dry.
There you go. Daniel Kraft takes the win of the first race of this final round of the BSR Kia Cup series around Silverstone. Second place, following him across the line, Stephen Baxter, Lewis Bibby right there as well. Peter Van Gool, that is possibly his best result of the season so far. He's had a horrid season in 4th, well, finishing the race in 4th. The rest of the season wasn't so great. And as they continue to come across the line, Tristan Bottas there in 5th place, Sakovic staying in 6th. And it's only the one car that it seems that we lost through the race, and that was Michael Barry. Kind of didn't pick up what happened to him. How far was he down? Just the 1 lap. Yeah, it's a pretty encouraging way to kick off the night. So we've got a 20 car grid. We've got the big spinny wheel coming up as well, but I can't see it being anything else but a full reverse grid. I will get that up for you right after we've gone through the results then. Right, so as we saw, Daniel Kraft taking the win. 1st place for him. Stephen Baxter in 2nd place, only half a second behind. Lewis Bibby another half a second further back. In 3rd place, Peter Van Gool in 4th. Tristan Bottas in 5th. Maciek Sakovic in 6th place. Stuart McFadden in 7th. Benjamin Gregory in 8th. Adam Delmont 9th place. Then we had Adam McNally in 10th. Max Ryder in 11th. Thorstein Helgeson in 12th place. Cesaro Rizzo in 13th. Jamie Hayes in 14th. Jason Greenfield in 15th place. Jurg Danke, another guy that we haven't seen all that much this season, in 16th place. Lee Bolm in 17th. Still in Chipalevsky in the end, finishing 18th, just in front of his teammate Diego Mauro, 19th. Michael Barry bringing up the rest of the field in 20th place.
Good first race. Some good action in there.
Yeah,
I always like the races this track. Sorry to cut you off there, but yeah, this seems to work really well as a circuit, you know, for a lot of fun.
Yeah, the guys seem to be able to run nice and close together, and I have to admit this first race has probably been one of the better ones that we've seen in recent weeks. Normally there's a little bit of a spread, but of course now we've got the reverse grid kicking in. This is where all the fun starts normally. Right, so let's bring up that wheel so we can see if we're gonna get lucky and get anything else but a full reverse grid. There we go. Was it the Price is Right music? As it ticks over. Oh, come on, one more tick. Yes, got 17. So who's that going to put on pole position?
That puts Lee Barmer on pole position.
Oh, fantastic. So, see, and that's just going to go from bad to worse for the Discovery boys. Because we've got Chapelevsky and Malrow, the guys who qualified first and second in the first race, missing out on that reverse grid. And they're going to start 18th and 19th, sadly for them.
Yeah, it should be a good race. So yeah, Barmer and then Danker. We've got Greenfield, Jamie Ayres, Cesaro Rizzo, Thorsten Helgeson. Rounds out the sort of the top 5 starting there. So yeah, it should be good. Should be a good race. Of course, the guys coming through from the back got a little work to do, but like I said, there's enough time to do it on this. 15 minutes and good few overtaking positions here. So it should be interesting to see and watch them try and work their way through.
Yeah, we've seen the likes of Chapelevsky and Malrow in previous rounds doing a pretty good job at coming through the field, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem for them. Michael Barry's got an opportunity to follow them through the field. But yeah, great race 1. We're gonna go to a commercial break. We'll be back with race 2 shortly.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Hey, welcome back for race 2 of the BSR Kia Cup series. We're at Silverstone for this final race of this particular event, and joining me in the commentary booth is Mr. Alex Simpson. Alex, welcome back. And we were treated for a pretty exciting race at the front in race 1, but of course we've got the reverse grid for races 2 and 3. And I think that was a 17th place in the last race, which I think was Lee Balmer starting on pole position, and it should prove to be once again a pretty exciting event.
Yeah, good close race. The last one, of course, the leaders getting involved in a little accident. Teammates, when it looked like they were free and clear and on for a 1-2. Just to put a cap on their season, but it weren't to be. They made some contact, had some fun, I'm sure, in their TeamSpeak channel, and yeah, they'll regroup and see if they can have a better race. Of course, they missed the reverse grid pole position as well, so they've got to work their way up from completely from the back. So it should be fun watching them do that, along with the likes of Kraft and Baxter that had a good race in the last one as well.
It's always a bit of an awkward one when you run into a teammate. You're you yourself as a team owner, and I don't know, maybe you can explain for us from a team owner's perspective what that does to you when you see that.
Well, I'm sure Stelling will have been quite annoyed with himself for doing that to his teammate more than anything. You know, from a team manager's position, you just want to go down there and whack their heads together. It's #1 rule, isn't it? Don't hit your teammate. But yeah, I'm sure, like I say, Stillian waited for him as well and followed through. Fortunately, it doesn't affect anything as far as the championship goes. All those standings pretty much wrapped up, which I'm sure, Conrad, you covered at the start of the event tonight.
Yeah, we'll just have a quick look at the driver standings once again. Chipalevsky and Malro is pretty clear in the first and second. Robert Plumley is sat in third with 1,983 points, but he's not here, and that, I think, of that last race would have promoted Sakovic up into third. Stephen Baxter was in fifth. I'm sure he would have gained a spot as well. So yeah, it's all to play for. Especially like Sakovic, there's about 45 points between Baxter and Sakovic, so it's all to play for in that for that third spot.
Yeah, so like you say, it's the not right at the front, but actually, for the key positions as well. A bit of bragging rights going on for best of the rest. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they play out. So yeah, Baxter really needs some good results, and maybe that's why he didn't battle Kraft too hard. He's not fighting Kraft for those positions in the championship, and he didn't want to risk anything. So decided against a risky move. Right, the grids come up, so I'll just take you through that. So Lee Barmer has got pole position, Dankar is in second, Greenfield third, Jimmy Ayres lines up in fourth, Cesaro Rizzo is fifth, Thorsten Higgelson is in sixth place, then Max Wright, Adam McNally, Adam Delmont, Benjamin Gregory, Stuart McFadden, and then we've got Stakovic is down in 12th place, and it's Tristan Bottis, Peter Van Gaal, Lewis Bibby, Stephen Baxter, and then of course last race winner Dan Kraft all the way down in 17th. Then we've got Chepalewski, Melro, and Michael Barry, Kip Stevens, and Anwar Smith.
That's nice to see two extra drivers joining us, Anwar Smith and Kip Stevens for race 2. Beefs up the grid a little bit. The engines start going.
Green, green, green.
And they're off, as doesn't look like the third place car joined the grid. Lee Barmer not having a great start. Who's that coming from third place through? It's had a cracking start. It's number 46 car. If I can find them on my standings, I will tell you who it is. Jamie Ayres. Straight through into first place. Oh dear, Lee Barmer second place, making contact with Cesaro Rizzo. They are both off, and Lee Barmer's going to have to sit and wait for the entire field to come through.
Gutted, nothing worse is there on the first lap. Something like that happens. There's a couple of other cars off in the background as well. I'm not sure who they are. I think Kip Stevens might be one of them.
Oh, somebody's rolling. Let's have a is that Helgeson? Yes, that's Helgeson. Let's just have a little look back, see exactly what happened to him. Well, they were pretty much 3-4 wide as they came onto that back straight. He was involved in a different accident though. That's a bit of a strange one.
Well, Ayres pulled away somewhat at the front after Lee made his mistake in second, just coming through Beckett's and Maggots, so 1.6 seconds clear for Ayres at the end of the first lap. That is just what he wanted. Max Wright, second place. Adam Delmont is third. Then we've got McNally and McFadden after that. So top 5. Very similar to what they were, but yeah, Ayres making the best of start and a little breakaway. He's outside the draft as well. But I have to say, Max Wright already closing that gap down just after a couple of corners and starting to break away from Delmont behind as well.
Yeah, I think I've done a skippy race on this particular configuration before, and it was morning temperatures as well, or fairly low temperatures, and we know the grip on that first lap is somewhat depleted, and it's easy to see how Lee Barmer made the mistake that he made. And I did exactly the same thing going through that very same corner and cost myself a race win and a skippy. That would have been my only one ever. Really frustrating. But let's just have a look back. Daniel Kraft having a little battle with Stuart McFadden at the moment.
Kraft moved up very quickly, in fact, doesn't he? 6th place already, just after, we're not even at the end of the second lap, so he's absolutely flying. Melro up to 9th as well, Chepalewski in 11th, Baxter in 10th, so the quick guys from the first race have made short work of the bulk of this pack, so they've got every opportunity to fight it out for a win as well. People like Max Wright and Ayres, they need to really step on it and try and build a little gap while these guys are working through the pack.
Sometimes it just seems like some of these guys, some drivers, just have a gift for this kind of thing, to make their way through a field.
Yeah, a lot of this comes down to experience, to be honest, in the car. Those that have done like the different Kia series, so the Touring Car Pro series, as well as like the old Club series and the Club 73 events and things like that. Once you've done a lot of that, you see a lot of what goes on the opening laps with the reverse grids, and you can tend to read the situation quite well, know where to place your car, can see how it's all going to unfold, where accidents are going to happen and people are going to check up, and you can make a lot of ground that way. And the best really just gets through more through experience than anything. I'm just having a look at Kraft and McNally. Kraft up the inside through Priory, and he should have this going into Brooklands. Does indeed. Will he be able to hold on to it? No, McNally should be able to shove it. No, he can't quite up the inside in Luffield. Good move from Kraft, covers it off. He's up and into 4th place, just what looks like about 2.8 seconds behind our race leader right now.
I always think it's a very dangerous business, closing that gap, going into the final corner, getting your car onto the curb on the inside, but you don't know how keen the guy behind you is going to be to try and stick a move back up the inside.
Yep, that's it. Bibby particularly close to McFadden, Melrose behind him, very, very close too. Bottas has got Chepalewski for a little bit of company, just 0.3 of a second back. Cones are being flown here, there and everywhere again. The innocent victim every week.
Well, iRacing cones.
Oh.
We have Lewis Bibby and Stuart McFadden.
Yep, side by side.
Stuart
Going
McFadden
into
just,
bridge.
McFadden just gave Bibby enough space there before they came through bridge. He's off though now, and that team out car is going to get passed by quite a few. As 1, 2, 3, 4 positions he's lost for taking to the grass.
Just a tiny little bit of contact, wasn't there, going through bridge, and just enough to get the car a little bit loose. Had to steer in and correct it. Took him out onto the grass, and from there it's very difficult to get around Priory. So we had to really check up, and yeah, everyone come streaming past, and he's sat 11th place now behind Chepalewski. Contact ahead again. Bottas involved in that.
That was McFadden. McFadden just got a little bit out of shape on the braking. I don't think Bottas had anywhere else to go. Interestingly enough, something we haven't seen all of that much this season is we've seen Chepalewski and Melrose starting close to each other with these reverse grids time after time, but usually it's Chepalewski that's better at making his way through the field than Melrose. At the moment, Melrose up into 6th place. Chepalewski is slugging it out with Bottas and McFadden and Bibby. He's sat in 9th position.
Yeah, doing a great job. And where is he? What is he? 0.6 of a second behind McNally last lap. He's actually a bit slower than McNally last lap, but I imagine that's because he's coming through the traffic. Air's still leading, only 0.5 second between him and Wright now. They've got a 1.5 second gap from Dan Kraft. That's not going to be enough. Kraft managed to catch up about 0.4 of a second on Max that last lap. Let's see what the difference is this time when they come through. Wright does a 1:24.9, and actually a slower lap from Kraft, a 1:25.0. So if they can continue at that sort of a rate, then perhaps they can stay clear of Kraft. But I get the feeling that Kraft's got the consistency on his side, and he'll be able to keep banging in those laps and slowly work that gap down with an opportunity to try and sneak another win in the in this series.
Yeah, there's opportunity for Jamie Ayres as well. If he plays it right, then he can give himself a chance for a race win here. But he's going to have to be smart about it. You can't get into an arm wrestle with Max Wright here if Max Wright is looking for a pass, and allow the likes of Kraft and McNally and Melrose to catch up to them.
Delmont having a little battle with Baxter further back. Baxter up the inside of Priory. He's trying to finish this again through Brooklands. Very similar to what Kraft did earlier on. Covers off the chance to get back up the inside of Luffield. So yeah, Baxter having a good run up to 6th place. definitely got his heart, hasn't he, set on trying to find some places in the final few rounds. Obviously we've got Sakovic, where is he? He's down in 13th place at the moment, so these guys very, very close on the point situation. No Plumley here. So every opportunity, I think, for Baxter to finish third place in this championship if he can nail a couple more places in this race, and a few, just as long as he beats Sakovic, I think, in the next one, should wrap that up.
Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate we can't get live updates on the points. We certainly know where we stand.
Oh, that'd be so good, wouldn't it?
But I mean, as it stands at the moment, he's giving himself every single chance to make it. Oh, as Melrose just runs a little bit wide there, up behind McNally. That's going to give Baxter a chance to make up another spot. Can't quite make it stick. Gap up at the front now is 0.1 seconds. Is Wright and Croft right? Oh, somebody's off. Is that right? Wright's gone off.
Yeah, Wright's off. Ran wide, and he's going to follow in behind all of these guys now. So that's going to leave Kraft and Ayres to batter it out with just 5 minutes to go. Kraft trying the sweeping run, gets the sort of undercut. That was nice positioning of his car. Ayres not defending too aggressively into Cop's corner, and that's going to let Dan get that run through there. Now, all Ayres needs to do, I think, is stay with him and work a time to try and fight back. He can't let him break away. That's the important thing. We saw that from Baxter. He went for a move that cost him more time than anything, as they're battling behind Melrose up and into third place now. Baxter is in fourth. McNally drops down to fifth, and Delmont sixth. Wright, unfortunately, after that mistake, seventh. He's just ahead of Chepalewski.
Now, all Ayres really needs to do now is do what Kraft did in race 1.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, Kraft's obviously got the advantage. He is a bit quicker. He has been sort of pulling away and closing in that gap. So, but Ayres just needs to work the slipstream really well. Just make sure that he doesn't overshoot any of the corners, so that he can focus on the exits, gets good run, and then he can use that draft where he might be a few K slower in the corners because he's nailed the entries. But he'll get on the power earlier, get better runs, use the draft, close that gap back up. So. Just needs to drive smart in the last few laps of this race. He'll at least be able to hold on to second place here, but might be able to have a run. Although I have to say, coming off of Luffield, it just Kraft just disappeared in the distance there.
Yeah, I managed to pull in a nice gap. Just having a look at the lap times as they come across the line. Kraft there with a 24.9, Ayres with a 25.7, and Melrose with a 25.2. So even Melrose in third place with them battling away at the back, that still closed up half a second on Ayres.
Delmont very close on, I think it was McNally, actually gets through, although McNally having a little look back, he's got Max Wright forcing him out just a little bit wide, and that's an engine blown for McNally. Just a bit quick on the downshifting, I think, into that section there. Popped an engine, 2 minutes 50 left of this race. So, there's nothing he's going to do there. Cut in for him. Can happen. Rare now, we don't see it that often, but it does happen.
Well, I think most of these guys, including McNally, is experienced enough to know how easy it is to blow an engine in this Kia. Maybe just overexcitement, a little bit of pressure. You never know what goes on. But you're right, it's not something we see all that often anymore in this Kia series. For somebody of a lesser caliber like myself, I found out around the Raw before the 24 hours of Daytona that it's very easy to blow an engine in the Kia if you just gear it down that little bit too far and too quickly.
Last lap, Melrose, some 0.7 of a second faster than Ayres, moves inside the slipstream now, just 0.6 of a second back. Ayres struggling to stay in the draft of Kraft. Needs to. I think he's going to struggle to hold on to this second. It was so important to stay tucked up behind Kraft, and that Luffield corner, I don't know what he got wrong there, but it all went pear-shaped there. That's where he fell out of the draft. He's right under pressure now.
I wonder if he might just be struggling with the tires a little bit. There's a couple of these slower corners where he seems to struggle the most, and like we found out from various Kia drivers, Melrose being one of them, that with the new tires on the car.
Yeah, good move. Caught Ayres just a little bit snoozing there. Not many people go for a move through Priory, and yeah, Melrose saw the opportunity, took it, dives up the inside, takes second place. And now I think Baxter will want to try and get this one as well. He needs all these points. An extra little gain over Sakovic, who's down in 9th place, could help him secure that 3rd place in the championship.
Yeah, Steven Baxter will definitely have a go at some point in this lap.
26 seconds to go. This is
that wasn't great.
Recovered. Not sure. He lost 1 place. Let's hope it doesn't get protested, because yeah, he might lose some points on that one. It's pretty much a racing incident, just a bit of rubbing. You know how sometimes these cars can react. Battle going on further back as well. This is between Tristan Bottas, Delmont, and Max Wright. 3 cars. White flag is out. Where is Kraft? He's just coming through Abbey. A little battle settles down between Bottas and Delmont. Just watch Kraft take it home. Final couple of corners then through Brooklands. This is 2 for 2 for tonight. Much more comfortable race this time through. Worked his way through the pack extremely quickly at the start of this race. Already up to about 6th place, wasn't it, after lap 2. Here he comes across the line to take the 2nd victory. Great drive, Dan Kraft. Melrose in 2nd, and Baxter indeed did get 3rd, followed by Ayres and Chepalevsky, I believe, in 5th. So good run from Cheppy as well to work his way forward.
Watching the final few cars coming across the start-finish line. Dankert and Rizzo, Barry, McNally. Final few cars to make their way across the start-finish line. Rizzo a little bit unlucky there at the start of the race, with getting collected by Lee Balmer. Michael Barry couldn't quite follow Chepalevsky and Melrose through the field. And the last car we see coming across the line is Adam McNally.
Yeah, he had a pit stop, so...
Who is it that we saw?
I'm thinking it was McNally, wasn't it?
Who blew his engine?
Yeah, so obviously repairs are on. A little bit drifting for us.
Right, so let's have a quick look at the results for race 2. Daniel Kraft once again taking the win, with Diego Mauro in 2nd place. A great drive from those two coming through the field from the back. Stephen Baxter in 3rd place, Jamie Ayres in 4th, Chepalevsky in 5th, Max Wright in 6th place, Tristan Bottas in 7th, Adam Delmont in 8th place, Sakovic in 9th. And we had Peter Van Gool with another decent result in 10th place, Kip Stevens in 11th, Stuart McFadden in 12th place, Anwar Smith in 13th, Benjamin Gregory in 14th place, Jason Greenfield and Joch Danker in 15th and 16th, Cesaro Rosa in 17th, Michael Barry in 18th, 19th was Adam McNally, and then we had a couple of retirements. Lee Balmer, our pole sitter for race 2, being one of them. Lewis Bibby another, and Helgeson in 22nd, the first retiree. So, well, I have to admit that was a pretty good race. Watching Kraft, Melrose, Chepalevsky coming through the field. we'll bring our spinny wheel back up and see what we've got for race 3, final time of the night. There we go. Oh, we might be in for another 17 here. We can take over, and so it does, and it's a 17 once again. So who's that going to put on pole?
Well, that'd be a good question, but unfortunately I jumped out of the session really quickly to get ready for the next one, so I can't tell you who finished 17th.
Right, let's. I'll have a quick look through the race results again for us. Let's have a quick look. That is going to be Cesar Rizzo on pole position for this final race. Dankert in second, Greenfield third, Gregory in fourth. Should be Anwar Smith in fifth, followed by McFadden and Stevens. So yeah, that looks rather tasty, I have to admit.
Yeah, final race of the season then, should be good.
Right then, and then with that, we'll go to another commercial break, and then after we will have race 3 and the final race of the series. Stay with us.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license
Welcome back to the BSR Kia Cup series. We're at Silverstone on Apex Racing TV for the third and final race of the night, and it's also the final race of the season. With me in the commentary booth is Alex Simpson. Alex, great race we saw, well, two great races we've seen so far tonight, and as it Dan Croft taking both the wins. Second race driving it all the way from the back of the grid.
Yeah, he's got to do it all over again from the same spot, 17th. No doubts that he could make it 3 for 3, although he has got the likes of Chepalewski a bit closer to him this time, hasn't got to work through quite so many cars, so might be a little bit tougher for him. And of course, Elian looking good to, well, story's 100% confirmed, but I think at this point we could pretty much say that he's got the championship wrapped up, and yeah, so maybe he'll want to go out with a bit of pride and take the final victory. So see how those two shape up. Should be an interesting race. But of course you've got the others like Melro, who's done extremely well as well in the two races. Want to try and come through, and Baxter as well, trying to gun for that third position. Just having a quick look at sort of team standings as well. I think they're pretty much cemented, aren't they? I can't see that anyone can sort of change. Discovery way up front, and you've got ProSim and Youth Energy. They're a few hundred points between each other going into this week. Possible, but everybody else so far apart that not really gonna change. Am standings, McNally way clear as well, so nothing to worry about there. Ayres obviously had a good race that last one, so we'll close the gap up a little bit, cement his second place. Rizzo and Minton would have been close, but obviously I don't see Minton here as well this week, so Cesaro Rizzo looking good to hold on to third in the championship as well. So it's all about personal pride out there in this race, I'm sure. Final race of the season, they're going to go at it, knock two bells out of each other, I think, and have a bit of fun.
Yeah, well, let's hope so. I think it's been a while since we've seen a Kia Space Shuttle in this particular series. Although I think, like I said, in the AM standings with Minton and Crozier not yet, Greenfield's got an opportunity Greenfield's got an opportunity to climb a couple of places. But that's warm-up done, and they should start to form up on the grid.
Okay, so just take you through the grid order then. Cesaro Rizzo takes the pole position with the reverse grid. Ankart is set on second place with Greenfield in third, so like you say, he's in prime position to try and move himself forward. Ben Gregory is in fourth, then Anwar Smith, Stuart McFadden, Kip Stevens, Peter Van Gaal. Sakovic is way down in ninth, so it is a good race this one to try and stay ahead of Baxter. So we'll keep an eye on that little one as well. Again, we won't know the confirmation. And then we've got Delmont, followed by Bodis, Max Wright, Chepalewski, Jamie Ayres. Then there's Baxter, Melro, Kraft, and over to you for the start of the race.
Yeah, the red rising, light as green, and away we go. Rizzo didn't have a really good start. Dankert is already past him. He's got the inside though. Going to do it side by side. Just behind them is Jason Greenfield as well. He'll be looking for a good result. Elevate himself in the AM standings. This time by Rizzo.
Oh, everyone's sliding around there as well. A couple of cars off wide.
Just have a look. It looks like Dankert was one of them. He's falling.
Greenfield as well.
And Rizzo's heart would have been in his mouth going into that particular corner after his excursion in the second race with Lee Barmer. He's got a little bit of a gap looking further behind. Is that fourth place? Is it Smith and Van Gool?
Yeah, Smith, yeah, like I say, Smith and Van Gool. Then you've got Kip Stevens there. Chipolewski's already up to 7th place. That's a crazy start. Sakovic actually just nips by up the inside of Priory. And around the outside goes Chiappi? The other way around. Sorry, yep, the other way around. And yeah, who else we got battling? Delmont and Baxter there as well, just a little bit further back, 10th and 11th place now. So yeah, Field's sort of trying to get into some sort of single file, but still racing hard. First lap complete. Rizzo leads by 0.3 of a second.
He'd be delighted with that. Guy would not be so delighted as Dankert, starting on the front row. He's right at the back, then 20th and last place. He just had a horrible first lap. But yeah, the battling goes on towards the front. Anwar Smith has managed to pull a little gap to Van Gool. Behind though is Kip Stevens, Chipolewski, Sakovic and Bottas. All running line astern. It's coming down the back straight.
Both Dankert and Greenfield are into the pits as well. I'm not sure what that was about.
Yeah, both of them started up towards the front. They've been into the pits to get themselves new cars.
Both of them ran wide, didn't they? Those were the two who slid. So yeah, I'm not sure. What's going on there?
I said that second corner on this track and in cool temperatures is a nightmare. So we mentioned it in race 2, but that was fairly warm temperatures or hotter temperatures. We're in the afternoon session, of course, now, and it'll just take them a lap or two just to get the tires up to pressure and to find that extra little bit of grip.
The lead then, McFadden into Cop's corner, has a little look, commits to it, and Rizzo leaves enough room, doesn't get the run off the corner that he was hoping. He was just a bit too nervous that McFadden was going to hit him, I think, more than anything there. But yeah, Rizzo will settle in second place. He's got Gregory tucked in right behind him as well, so these three look set to have a good battle. 1.6 seconds clear of Anwar Smith, who's coming under pressure from Peter Van Gool.
I think Rizzo is another one of those drivers like Van Gool, who's just, they kind of deserve a really good result for a change. A couple of these drivers have been really unlucky this season. As we look back, Chipolewski getting past Van Gool, that's going to leave Van Gool open to Kip Stevens and Sakovic just behind him as well.
Actually, Van Gool covers that off nicely, and Sakovic and Stevens, Baxter and Sakovic are very close together as well on track. Like I say, this is going to be extremely close on points. We won't know exactly until the confirmation at the end. But it must be extremely tight with the point situation for those guys for third place. So I think if Baxter can get ahead here, and he should get it 3 races where he's gained points. It's not been a huge amount of points that he's gained each race, so it's going to be extremely tight no matter what.
Just on board with Kip Stevens. He's having a look into turn 1 on Peter Van Gool. Van Gool moving out of shot as we come through turn 1. And it looks like, yeah, Kip made that stick, not quite.
Still side by side, battling here. It's a slightly better run here. Have the inside line for Abbey. Again, they plough through the cones. Those brave marshals constantly keep putting those back. Thought they'd learn their lesson by now. And Van Gool holds on to it. Sakovic, there's collision ahead. Anwar Smith is off, and he's dropping down the order. Not quite sure what happened there. Maybe we can get a little replay of that, Conrad?
We're just getting that up now. One of the, was that car 69? There was a Chipolewski behind him. Chipolewski giving him a little nudge.
Smallest of touches again, but just at the wrong place, so the car just spits to the left, and the pack is so tightly bunched behind. Anwar drops all the way down to 17th, 17th place, just ridiculous. He's only 10 seconds behind the leader. That particular lap, let's see how much time he lost in that lap. But all those places that he dropped, remember he was in 4th place before he did that.
And Chepelevsky has slowed down. I think he realizes he's made a mistake there. He's waiting for... Smith has gone through now.
Yeah, and he's got going again. So good sportsmanship again from Stellion. And he actually only lost 5 seconds, Anwar, in that little off there. But went from 4th all the way down to 16th in the end.
Yeah, it's a very tightly packed field, but we tend to see this with the reverse grids, where the faster guys coming through the field, and it just bunches up everything, especially if there's no big accident at the front at the start of the race.
Sakovic and Kraft trying to work his way through. Does important for Sakovic to try and hold on here, because I say he's still ahead of Baxter. I think had enough of a points lead. If he can gain 10 or 15 points back in this race, then he might well be able to hold on to that third, or gain 3rd place, because he's currently set 4th overall. But
yeah, I think if Sakovic can just finish in front of Baxter in this race, he'll be fine. But he did drop quite a few points in race 2, and he finished behind Baxter in race 1. So you can't really afford to drop any more, as Daniel Kraft is having a look around the outside of Peter Van Gool, going through turn 1, side by side once again with that behind them. Sakovic is going to try and have a sneaky look as well.
yeah, he needs to almost follow Kraft through here, doesn't he, if he can. Tries to follow him. Kraft sweeps in through Beckett's Magus. Runs wide. That's the disaster for Sakovic. And there was contact as well between, I think that was Van Gool and Kraft. All of a sudden, Baxter is just 2 places behind Sakovic in this little gaggle of 4 cars. Andrew would say you can throw a tea cozy over them. They're that close at the moment. Going into Abbey.
Look at that. No side. 2 aside, 2 rows deep. Yeah, Sakovic really can't afford to get into any more scuffles now, because we've seen now, and we've mentioned how tightly packed the field is. If he has an off here, he's going to join Chepelevsky. Well, he's going to 17th, 18th place.
Stellion. Yeah, he might have wanted the win for the honours. But ultimately the sportsmanship comes through, and of course he waited after that little tap with Anwar Smith. And while Anwar still be a little bit frustrated he's where he is on the track, he'll respect what Stellion's done there.
Yeah, and we've seen Chepelevsky do it in previous rounds, where if he's made a mistake, he takes responsibility for it, and he will slow down, he will let you back through, regardless of how many positions it's going to cost himself. And yeah, admittedly, it's not something we see a great deal of anymore these days, and it's sort of an admirable trade.
I think Greenfield's still running out there. He's not having the best of races, of course, down in 19th place, had that pit stop, but will still pick up points, and I think that will be enough. He's had 3 points finishes tonight, and that will be enough to propel him to 4th place in the championship with no Minton and Dave Crozier tonight. So won't have been the way you would have wanted to have done that, but still 4th overall in the championship in the AM is a good job.
Well, that's something we see time and time again in the BSR series, and I think you've put quite an emphasis on it in the Formula Renault series as well. That if you have an incident, if you have run into trouble through a race, don't just park it up. Because if you park it up, you're not going to score any points. At least stay out there, do your best not to go more than 1 lap down, and pick up those points, because they can be very valuable at the end of the season.
Huge, yep, indeed.
Right, back then we've got a little bit of a spread at the front. Stuart McFadden 2.4 seconds clear of Benjamin Gregory, who in turn is another 3.8 clear of Cesaro Rizzo in 3rd place. Daniel Kraft, on the other hand, is eating into that lead that Cesaro Rizzo has got over him at the moment. That gap is only 1.1 seconds at the moment. and coming down quick as well. Previous lap time for Croft was a 124.7. Rizzo did a 127.4, so he must have run into a little bit of trouble, hence why he lost that time on Benjamin Gregory. Only got 4 minutes left, but 3 or 4 laps to go then. Tristan Bottas very close behind Kip Stevens. And that big bunch of cars has just spread out a little bit as we come into the second half of the second half of the race rather.
Yeah, pretty much single file now. It looked like Baxter went on the aggression with Peter Van Gaal, got the line all wrong. Now he's under probably more pressure from Delmont behind, so he needs to collect himself up. Opportunity still there to catch and get by Sakovic, but it's close. I think yeah, this is going to make it extremely exciting to who's going to get that 3rd place in the overall championship.
Well, we didn't run Linus turn for very long, as Max Wright and McNally is having a little go at each other for 12th position. Looks like McNally got a decent run coming out onto the back straight. Right, though, equally so. It's just about the closest battle going on out there, as McNally looks for the cut back. Max Wright parking his car well, though, keeping hold of 12th position.
Yeah, Melrose now close to Sakovic as well. 7th and 8th place, just 0.3 of a second separating them. No little move into Brooklands, although very different lines from the 2 drivers. Melrose getting the car into that corner much earlier than Sakovic. Really shows the difference in the line, and then as they come out of that corner as well. So Sakovic able to get a much better run through Luffield because he's opened the previous corner out a bit. And yeah, Melrose using the slipstream. Too far back to have a move into Cops, but picks up the apex much better. Is able to drive off the corner, and all of a sudden Sakovic under pressure, nowhere to go. Jinx to the right, covers the line off, and yeah, Melrose has to get out of it somewhat. Of course, that's closed the pack up behind again. Peter Van Gaal right there. We know how quick Van Gaal is. In that first race, he was able to run the battling leaders down.
I think people underestimate the importance of turn 1, and we don't always see it on the sim. There's a couple of cars trading paint just behind the Sakovic battle. But I mean, yeah, being at Silverstone in real life, you stand there, you look at that corner, you see just how much off camber it is, and then you realise why you lose so much time. And
as Baxter just gets into Van Gaal, tiniest little touch, but it's enough just to put Van Gaal wide. That moves him up a spot. Again, I don't know if that'll get looked at and reviewed, but he's tucked up behind Melrose now. We've got just 35 seconds of this race to go, so this lap, the end of this lap, and one more. It's going to be McFadden. We haven't spoke much about him. He's had a solid race, not put a foot wrong, has he, out there really, and just pulled away up front. Gregory done a good job in 2nd place. Kraft has closed in on these two, but yeah, unfortunately they were just a little bit too far away. Couldn't quite go for the 3 from 3, which is unfortunate. Been good to see, but yeah, 3 podiums out of 3 at least. Still a very strong and good achievement.
yeah, I think with the format these races follow, it's yeah, getting 3 podiums in one night is a really difficult feat, but getting 2 wins with it is something we don't see very often. Like you said, Stuart McFadden took the lead pretty much at the start of the race, and coming through the final corner, he checked out. He's over 4 seconds clear of Benjamin Gregory in 2nd. Here it comes, take the win for the final race of the night and the series. great and controlled race by him. Benjamin Gregory is going to finish in second place. Daniel Croft on the podium for the third time this evening in third. And having a little Tristan Bottas just finishing behind Kip Stevens. Sakovic, Melrose, Baxter and Delmont all finishing line astern. You've got McNally. Oh, who is that? Peter Van Gool, just 0.1 seconds between them coming across the line. Very close.
There's our championship winner. Here he comes. He's been battered a little bit tonight. Hadn't had the best results.
Oh, he's crawling.
He didn't need to. Here he comes. Stelian Chepalevsky takes the championship. I won't say in style, but he dominated this series. Looking at that points, haven't covered too many of them, but way out in front. Great sportsmanship from him tonight in a couple of occasions. Yeah, fully deserves recognition, I think, for that. No, his car's just not going to be good enough to do any reverse donuts. There's a few people out there having a bit of fun though.
Yeah, there's nothing stylish about a crabbing Kia ever. See if we can find a couple of these Kias doing their donuts. Oh, I seem to be missing them all. Oh, there we go. Stuart McFadden doing victory circles around a series winner. Don't think you can quite call that a donut, that's just a drive around.
Right, Conrad, it's been a pleasure to jump in the box for the final round of the season. I have to run off and go and record a track guide, I'm afraid, but yeah, if anyone wants obviously an interview, they know where to head. I'm sure you can handle that one. Do you want to take us through the final standings, and while I disappear to go and do that?
Yeah, we'll just run through the final results for this race. Thank you very much for joining me tonight. Otherwise, I would have been on my own. Yeah, it's greatly appreciated. Thank you very much.
No problem, mate. Yep, congratulations again to all the winners tonight, and Stellion, AM champions, team champions, everyone who's took part in this series, and all the administrators of the series as well. Been a pleasure for us to cover it, and yeah, no doubt we'll see you again next season. But yep, from me, that's me out, and yeah, over to you, Conrad, and I'll catch you again, mate.
Right then. Final race results. First place was Stuart McFadden, Benjamin Gregory 4 seconds behind, and second place Daniel Croft in third. Cesaro Rizzo in fourth place, Kip Stevens in fifth, Tristan Bottas in sixth place, Sakovic in seventh, Diogo Melro in eighth place, Stephen Baxter in ninth, and Adam Delmont in 10th place. Peter Van Gool in 11th, Adam McNally in 12th place. Then we had Max Wright and Thorstein Helgeson in 13th and 14th, Anwar Smith in 15th, 16th was Jamie Ayres, Michael Barry in 17th, Stelian Chepalevsky, our series winner, in 18th place, with Jason Greenfield and Hugh Dank bringing up 19th and 20th. Right, we're just going to see if we can grab someone for an interview.
Channel switched.
I'm joining in the commentary booth with the winning team, the Discovery team of Cesaro Rizzo, Stelian Chepalevsky and Diogo Melro. and also I believe Stuart McFadden joining us for a little chat. I'll come to you first. Obviously, you guys have been around for quite some time in the Discovery team. I remember covering you in the World Series, taking another championship. Well, both championships. That's pretty satisfying feeling, I imagine.
Yeah, it's been great. Obviously, the driver lineup for Discovery's changed over the few seasons. Myself and Diogo have been there from the start. And this season, it's Cheppy was looking for a race, and I jumped at the chance. I basically jumped in line and signed him up before anybody else even knew he wanted to race. A bit of admin privileges, I suppose. But yeah, no, it's been a great season. Cheppy and Diogo have been fantastic up front. Unfortunately, we lost Alec Loritzen early in the season, but we managed to bring it home, and Cheppy and Diogo were fighting all the way to the end, which is great to see.
Quickly, your evening, your 3 races tonight. Race 2, a little bit of a disappointment going into turn 2 with Lee Barmer and a little bit of contact, but I imagine third race, better result, a little bit more satisfying.
Yeah, the second race was difficult. I mean, Lee lost it a little bit on the curbs, I think, and with cold tyres and everything like that, it's always difficult to keep this car in a straight line. So no hard feelings there. I mean, it's one of those things. Yeah, it took a bit of a bump and bumped Magic as I came back on as well, unfortunately. But yeah, managed to just sort of limp it round to the end and got pole for the reverse. And Stu was coming up fast behind me in the last race, and I thought there's no way I'm going to be able to keep him behind me the whole race, so I let him go past, hoping to hang on to him. But then Ben Gregory had a lot of pace as well, and I thought, well, let them both pass and see how I go. And yeah, managed to hold on for a fourth, so I'm happy with that. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I think we did mention on the broadcast that we've seen you multiple times this season, having a lot of bad luck, and I think you were quite kind of due for a good result.
Yeah, it hasn't been the best of seasons for me. I've been all over the place, but I've got a few hardware upgrades coming this week. So hopefully, in the new season to come, I'll be able to battle a little bit more up front.
Right, moving on then to our series winner, Stilian Chepelevsky. Had a bit of an indifferent night, but congratulations on the series win. It's been a very solid season. Out there tonight, how did that go?
Yeah, good evening, Conrad. Yeah, tonight was, I don't know, it was hell for me. I mean, I really love battling with Diogo, but this season we were teammates, so we worked really great together all the season. Just he was probably unlucky on some races and get some penalties and some disqualifications. So the reason I was in the lead at the end, and tonight we start fighting because there was no reason to work for the team championship. I think we already did that, and unfortunately I killed him.
Yeah, race 1, you guys were out on front, and I think Alex and I did make mention of it. There wasn't a frosty atmosphere in the TeamSpeak channel after that contact into turn 1, was there?
No, we never have problem with Diogo with those crashes. I mean, thing happened this race, and if you race really close, so it's actually, many possibilities something like this happens. So we crashed several times last month, but always have fun and never argue with each other. So no problem at all.
Oh, great stuff. Once again, congratulations on the series win. It was enjoyable watching you guys through battling it out throughout the season, and hopefully we'll see you back next season.
Yeah, probably.
And then Diogo, welcome. Second place in the championship, part of the winning team. Apart from that race 1 incident, we saw you having a pretty good night, particularly in race 2, where you guys drove it pretty much from the back of the grid all the way to the front.
Yeah, good evening. Second place again in Discovery. I guess I'm used to it. It's been like this for 3 seasons, but we managed to win every championship we run in, so I'm happy. About the race 1 incident, I didn't really mind it. We were sorted for the teams. Second place was almost granted. I just had to finish a race, and yeah, we had a lot of fun. That's the most important thing for us, fun, and yeah, it was great working together. And to the second and third race, I guess we had a little more pace than the rest of the field, and it was fun going through the field. Some good battling through there with Baxter as well. Yeah, it was a great night.
Right, we saw a couple of guys. I think there's Robert Plumley that wasn't here tonight, and there was an opportunity for a few guys to battle it out. I think Sakovic and Baxter was in the hunt for that third place. Were you guys weren't aware of that they had a thing going on, were you?
We made some calculations, and I think they had like 10 or 15 points between them for the last race. So yeah, I think that was it.
So it doesn't you don't get into the mood to be friendly to any one of them and start giving them places, are you?
No, just race our race our race, and yeah, just for the fun.
Alright, second place in the championship. Congratulations. I assume when the series starts up again at some point in the future, are you guys looking to keep the same team together and have a go at another team championship?
I guess that's up to our team manager, Chess.
Yeah.
I'd love, obviously, to keep these guys in Discovery, but I mean, obviously, this was very much during the off season of the pro season, and the pro season's now kicked off, and I completely understand that some people may have some commitments and things like that. But I mean, if we can keep this team together, I can't see why we can't go on to win many more championships.
Well, hopefully it starts up again at some point in the future, and we'd love to see you guys back. Congratulations again on the drivers' championship and the team championship as well.
Yeah, thanks, Conrad. I mean, I want to thank you guys as well for your coverage, and for all those who are watching and those who have watched us through the season. Just to let everybody know that soon we'll be putting up some posts and everything on our Facebook page. You can come and join us. We're going to be opening up registrations for our next season, and there'll be more announcements on that as well.
That's fantastic. We look forward
thanks
to
for the great.
it's fine. You guys are more than welcome. It's been a great pleasure covering it.
Yeah, cheers, Conrad. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
No problem. Right then, final driver joining us for a quick chat. Stuart McFadden, welcome. I should admit there was a great deal going on tonight. How was the three races for you from your perspective tonight?
Race one was really positive. I made my way from 18th to 7th place, which I was really happy with. Quite happy with, not really happy with race 2. I really don't know what happened, but I went from, I think it was 11th down. No, sorry, that was race. I don't know. I'm getting confused. I think I went from 7th down to 12th in race 2, which wasn't very good. But luckily, the reverse grid played in my favour, and I got 6th and made. In race 3 I made an absolute demon of a start and got up to P3, and then battling with Ches was really good, some really clean racing there. And then they pulled away and tried to manage the gap from Ben Gregory from behind, because I knew he had pretty good pace, and I saw that he was pushing in the first kind of 4 or 5 laps. So I was thinking, if I just keep the same pace that I'm at, he's going to drop off with his tyre wear. And that plan worked for once. So, and I just pulled away, and I think it was 4.89, something around that margin in the end. So I was really pleased with getting the win 2 weeks in the trot. So
yeah, we did mention it. It was sort of I don't think we really covered the grid all that much on the start of the race. But I mean, all of a sudden you're up there and you're in front, and just tell me, you say you tried to manage the tires. It's only a 15-minute race, but the Kia's got this new tyre model. Just how much do the tyres drop off in that 15 minutes?
They do drop off quite considerably, but it is about maybe 7-8 tenths a lap once you get over the 7-8 minute period. But if you can try and keep within a decent lap time and try and ease the tyres, it's quite difficult to do, but I think I'm getting my head around it. I used to struggle with it a lot, but I think with the Pro Series as well, that's really helping, because that's vital to keep your tyres intact, so you can make up places if anything happens. But I think the experience that I'm taking off of other people as well in the Pro Series is really helping me.
I take it this series has been good preparation for the BSR TC.
Yeah, it has, especially getting used to these new updates, and they've been quite considerate since last time. So getting used to the car and the way it handles, and the new tyre model as well. That's quite a steep learning curve for me. But this series has definitely helped me, especially with the racing as well. It's really close, just like the Pro Series. So you kind of get a gauge of how your tyres are going to fare over the race.
Well, it was a fantastic performance in the last race tonight. Many congratulations on the win.
Yeah, thank you.
And then again, hopefully, when the season starts back up, we hope to see you back again.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be doing the full season because I've got my real world racing. That's normally takes over weekend, but I'll try and make some time to come back at this because it's a fantastic series.
Alright, just before we let you go, is there anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Well, the admins for making such a great series. It's really good fun. It's always a highlight of my week, along with Thursday nights now, the two nights that I really look forward to, and Automic for the sponsorship and the side of the car. They're really good, really good for sponsoring us for this series as well as the Pro Series. So yeah, and Apex Racing for the absolutely fantastic broadcasting that you do. I always look forward to watching the racing back after the races. So yeah.
Well, I think race 3 you're in for a treat with race 3 tonight. So, but again, yeah, many congratulations. Thank you all for joining us, and that wraps up the evening and the race and the sadly the season as well. We'll catch you at some point in the future, hopefully with a new season of the BSR Kia Cup. Thank you all for joining us. Good night.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.